Hi there. If you've ever thought about starting a business and have wondered, what's in it for me? Or equally have thought, oh, what could possibly go wrong? Then this is the video for you. We're going to be looking at risk and reward as part of the GCSE syllabuses for AQA, OCR, Edexcel and WJEC. A good place to start with this is to remind ourselves of what enterprise does and what businesses do. They take the factors of production, capital, land and labour, and they use the skill of enterprise or organisation and ideas to turn those factors into goods or services that they can sell to customers, other firms and consumers. So what you can see from this is that businesses themselves, they don't operate in isolation. They're influenced by lots of things around them in the environment. And that's really important later on when we come to looking at the risks of doing business. To start though, we can look at some of the upsides, the rewards of being an entrepreneur, of running your own business. And these are linked into the reasons for enterprise that we covered in a previous video. And one of the main upsides of running your own business, being an entrepreneur, is profit or growth. If you're running a business and providing the enterprise skill, then it's possible that you get to keep all of the profit that's made. If your revenues outweigh the costs, what's left in the middle is there for you, and that can be a really strong motivator for people. Another upside of running your own business is having that independence, the ability to take risks, to make decisions yourself without answering to other people, being able to act on a hunch or intuition. And a lot of small businesses go on to great things because the people there are able to do what they feel is right. The first two can also lead to a great feeling of personal satisfaction. Running your own business successfully, making profit, making your own decisions, being in charge of what you're doing, that can be a really, really great feeling. And with that, as your business grows, can come recognition, can come fame. Some people that we see on TV, Alan Sugar, or on Twitter, Elon Musk, they're entrepreneurs. They've built up the business and they are reaping the benefits of that through people knowing who they are and through being famous. Not every entrepreneur will want that. Some are happier to sit in the background and just to make the decisions and take the money and have that degree of independence. But for some people, this is a really key driver in their enterprise. Now you might ask, if there's so many upsides to being an entrepreneur and running your own business, why doesn't everybody do it? And that's because there are risks involved. There are possible downsides to enterprise. Because of the environment that businesses exist in, it's dynamic, it's ever changing. There's no real guarantee of success. And that brings with it what we call business risks. One of the main risks of running a business is that business idea doesn't work out. And that might not be just down to the skill of the entrepreneur. It can be for all kinds of reasons. It could be that customers change their spending habits. They decide to spend their money or their income on other things. It could be that you have issues with suppliers or rising costs. As I'm making this video in September 2022, we're seeing that a lot of businesses are possibly having to close because of the rising energy prices and bills that they're being faced with. Not something under their control, way greater than they could possibly have forecast, but it is having an impact on them and could lead to business failure. There's also the possibility of new competition in the market. If you're running a successful business, it's likely other people will look at that and think, hey, that idea works, I'm going to do that as well. And there's also changes in the wider business environment. It could be decisions that are made by governments, it could be changes in the environment itself, like climate change. We spoke in the last lesson about where business ideas come from, and although that can create new opportunities, it can also lead to existing businesses becoming obsolescent. Business failure can lead to financial loss. That could be for the business itself, but it also has a knock-on effect onto the entrepreneurs, to the owners. If you've put money into a business to get it started, to buy capital, to recruit staff, it could be that if your business fails, you're not going to get all of that money back, if any of it. This could lead on that if your business closes with debts, it could affect your own personal finances and possessions. That's something that will depend on whether you're operating as a sole trader or a partnership, or the business had limited liability. And that's something that we'll be covering in a future lesson as well. Running your own business can also mean a lack of security. You're reliant on yourself for income rather than the employer. There's no one there except yourself to pay for your holiday pay, to contribute to your pension. If you are ill and aren't working, then you won't get paid for that. And it can also have a big impact on your work-life balance. Being an entrepreneur, running your own business is hard work, especially in the early days, and you need to be prepared to make sacrifices, whether that's working extra hours or giving up things in your own life in order to make that business a success. These things here, some of these can be more predictable than others, and things like financial loss, lack of security is things that I would really suggest that you consider before starting your own enterprise. As I said, nothing in business is guaranteed, but we can try and prepare and make the best predictions that we can to make our business a success. One way of doing that is through business planning, and we'll be covering that in the next video. See you there.